The 1904 St. Louis Olympic Marathon was insane on so many levels. The track was designed by James Edward Sullivan, the chief organizer of the Olympics that year. He wanted to test the limits of hydration, so water spots were far and few between. Nobody cleared the track of obstacles. They were running with rush hour traffic not being blocked. Trolley cars were still running, and people were out in parks enjoying the day. Also, there was so much dirt on the road. Only 14 out of 32 participants actually finished the race. To this day, it is still the worst starting to finish completion ratio. The officiating was so bad, we don't know the completion times for 4th through 14th place. The stories of individual racers are nothing short of straight up puzzling. Let's start with this. There were 8 people scheduled for the race that didn't even start. This includes Billy Shearing of Canada, who would later win the 1906 Olympic Marathon. John Daly of Great Britain never made it there because Britain decided they didn't want to send a team that year. However, they did try to claim medals for anyone with British heritage or countries that were or had been British colonies, because you know how the British get down. Lynn Tanyain and John Mashiani were the first black Africans to ever compete in the Olympics. Both served as messengers during the Boer War. Tanyain chose to be barefoot. He must not have saw the course beforehand because that was a bad choice. They would finish 9th and 12th. They probably could have done better, but during the race, they were chased a mile off course by stray dogs. Jean Lourdin and Sam Miller became violently ill and both dropped out of the race. This is because they were dehydrated and breathing in so much dust from all the dirt roads. William Garcia was found passed out on the road. He had dozens of internal injuries that were caused by debris being run over by the officials' cars and kicked back at him. Frederick Loris was the first to finish the race in 3 hours and 13 minutes. He actually caught a cramp, dropped out, and caught a ride in a car. Along the way back to the stadium, he waved at people, took photos, pointed out the window. He was having a good time, bruh. But the car broke down, so he jogged the last mile. He took photos with Teddy Roosevelt's daughter Alice after she placed a victory wreath on his head. He was even given a gold medal. Officials and fans rushed the victory because he was obviously lying, bro. Like, come on, man. He said, yeah, it was a joke. They banned him for life, but later changed it to just 6 months. He would win the 1905 Boston Marathon. Andarian Carvajal lost all his money in New Orleans and hitchhiked to St. Louis. He barely made it on time to compete in the race. He had to cut the legs off his pants to make them shorts because he lost his clothes while he was gambling down there too. He also hadn't had a meal in 40 hours. So when he spotted a spectator eating peaches, he asked for one. The spectator said, nah, man, what's up with that? You tripping, bro? So he stole both peaches and took off in the race. He stopped at an orchard along the way and he stole some apples. Unfortunately, they were rotten and gave him stomach pains. So he laid down and took a nap in the middle of the race. The crazy thing is, he still finished 4th. French immigrant Albert Corey showed up with the wrong document. They had him listed as competing for France and the United States. He still managed to come in 2nd. So who won? Thomas Hicks of America won, and he did it in the craziest way possible. Hicks almost passed out several times during the race, and his trainers refused to let him stop. To keep him going, they started giving him doses of strychnine. You may wonder what that is. Well, it's rat poison. To wash down the rat poison, they gave him raw eggs mixed with brandy. He was hallucinating. As he crossed the finish line, he was actually being lifted off the ground by his support team as he moved his feet thinking he was still running. Typically, that would be a disqualification, but that year had enough craziness, they just counted it. I told you that was a crazy story, right?